There's a motion on the floor.
Mind you,
Please.
You know what you moved next to when you moved in there, Bobby. I know what it is. You need to realize what it is.
Oh, stop it!
There's a motion.
When people start to behave out there.
Well, there's a motion on the floor.
She needs to behave.
I move we recess for 3 minutes.
There's a motion on the floor.
Vote.
All right,
I'm asking for a vote.
All right, I
There is a
withdraw.
motion on the floor now. Call for the vote. Roll call.
No, we don't have a second.
Well, we have a second. We have a second for this. Please, please,
I want to know why the chief isn't yelling at him the way he was yelling at me.
please. Enough is
That's what
enough.
I'd like to
Mr.
know.
Carroll.
Let's have a little decorum.
Carol, why isn't he saying
Mr.
something?
Carroll, please. We have a motion on this floor. There's a
You
second.
know,
Miss,
you people should be ashamed of yourself.
Paul,
You're acting like children out there.
Oh, gee, you should say something.
we have a motion and we have a second. Please call a roll call.
Councilmember Merbler, did you make a full
He
second
did it
or
for
did you do
discussion.
contingency?
Well, it was on
For
discussion.
discussion.
So, I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Is that a full
Was that a full second?
Yeah, it's a second. Yeah, to make a motion to discuss the item.
Okay.
That's not voting for it, just second it.
Councilor
You can talk
Merbler.
about it. Yeah, just second it.
Well, again,
I'm waiting for you to talk.
You know, my question, relates, waiting for the discussion. Are we gonna have a discussion? or-
Is it, you want more discussion?
Well, again, I'm trying to, I understand you said it is viewed as an extension.
Of a non-conforming use.
Didn't we all get a letter on this? I can remember reading it, the opinion, and I think it was twice.
Well, we've heard the opinion of our attorney. I'm gonna call for the vote.
At that point, we didn't take a vote. If somebody calls for a vote.
We're gonna call for the vote, so,
Councilmember.
wait, so the question is,
One more
what are we
question.
voting on?
One more question.
Motion for personal, to allow the lease of personal watercraft.
Right.
So a yes vote would be, yes, they can do it,
Yes.
and a no vote would be, no, they
So
cannot.
for instance, can I just ask one more question? Because I know I've seen a couple of times when I go up and down the beach, I will see a boat. Sometimes it's out back of the hotel. Sometimes I'll see jet ski or beach behind even a condo. I don't know if it's permitted, but
Yes, behind out.
the question is, what's the difference?
The leasing of it
May I be heard on that?
The leasing of it within the.
It's a business.
it's a
town-
business.
the town,
It's a separate
so-
business.
The town attorney, if I may speak about this expansion thing, because this has been the subject of communication back and forth. There was nothing in our application that suggested there was going to be any expansion of a non-conforming use or structure. If you're going to take that position and vote that qualifies as an expansion, anything that hotel wants to do, that operation wants to do, is the same type of expansion under that theory. Because the minute they want to have people go out in a canoe, the minute they want to have people ride bicycles around, I can think of 20 more things that is going to qualify under that same analysis. Just picking on this one issue and saying that doesn't apply. So you're going to have to be very careful with how you deal with this expansion argument, because our application didn't call for any expansion. It's been there for a long time. The ocean's been there for a long time. People utilizing their waterfront property for pleasure and access has been around forever. So the idea.
Okay, is it open to discussion by the councilors now?
We've heard.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion with the council?
I have any other questions. I think I have.
Well,
We have a motion on the floor.
if I could respond, Mr. Mayor, if I could respond to something that another mayor, that another councilor, it's already
Keep asking
been.
more and more questions. There's a motion on the floor.
All right, do it.
Call.
Call for the question.
Okay, that's the end of discussion. A call for the question.
And please explain the motion again so we all vote correctly.
Oh, my God.
One more time.
Okay, this is a motion to allow the Palm Beach Inn to offer personal watercraft as a separate business at the hotel.
Thank you.
Okay. Roll call, please.
I actually don't think the mayor used separate business.
No,
It would be, because we'd have to
Well,
get,
that
we'd have
was-
to get some sort of
no.
We have,
occupational or.
Yeah, but
professional-
separate,
That was
no.
editorialized.
Wait a minute now. Roll call table. We have a
Okay,
vote.
I'll amend it then. A motion to allow Palm Beach Inn to offer personal watercraft.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
As a business, I mean, not for
Well,
free.
business, whatever you want to
They're not
call it.
gonna do it for
No,
free.
I don't think so.
okay,
Councilmember Jordan,
no,
Councilmember Lillybeck,
No.
Mayor Millar,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Clayman,
No.
Councilmember Merbler.
Yes.
There's a show.
Follow the lead.
Let's move ahead. I believe I had another amendment, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not going through with this. I have another amendment I want to discuss. I'll bring it up at another time, and I will make my agenda for the next meeting. So now we have a beach report from Council Member Brian Merbler.
Well, we are all the way up through today. I did attend our Beaches and Shore meeting this past month. The good news is there are still permits out there. There's still modeling being conducted for our breakwaters project here. And it is, at least with all respect paid to the actual timeline, we're still trending actually quite consistently, knock on wood, towards our start date. We're still waiting right now on the final results for the town scoping meeting that took place, that was driven by the Army Corps of Engineers. That is actually due the first week in August. We'll call it the second week because I know better. And essentially what will occur there is they will provide the responses to DEP, where DEP is ultimately responsible for providing rebuttals to those who had concerns. The upside to this is several members of DEP were sitting here during the scoping meeting, have a pretty clear understanding of what the concerns are, and having attended these meetings previously, also have a good idea of what they're going to be facing. So, point being, they've been harvesting data now for really the last month and a half, 2 months, collecting all the backup items that they at least are anticipating in term with regard to the Corps' report. I know last meeting we had some discussion with regard to funding concerns. As I've said before, we are very, very tight from a budget standpoint. What makes South Palm Beach very unique is our critically eroded status. We are somewhat of, believe it or not, in a good way, an anomaly within all the other beach projects that are out there. And when I say that, it's when you're critically eroded, you have precedence. And as we continue to move forward with our modeling, move forward with obviously the DEP process and getting the scoping results, we continue the process of seeking funding in phases. And that's essentially how this began and will continue to be. So I know there was concern on whether or not we'd have ultimately monies or would we have to come forward with more money. We, for all intent and purposes, seem to fit the criteria. I've taken this all the way up to the state because we are critically eroded. There is money for a critically eroded beach as we speak right now. The key is that money, the key is permitting. If you have a permit, you ultimately have access to those funds. As it relates locally here in the county, we have something called the tourism and bed tax. That too is our local, I guess you could say, revenue source for funding our beach project. So, again, knock on wood, we're still, I myself am still very optimistic, and I think I've asked some very hard questions of the people that should have experience in, am I gonna have to go and seek bonds or go someplace way out on the horizon that we didn't think we were gonna go financially? Pardon?
No, I just, when you throw on.
Oh, yes, but, you know, they're all concerned, so, but at any rate, I just wanted everyone to know that, you know, we are in the, headed in the right direction, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Again, we have the money, we're continuing the design and modeling process. As far as the oil spill, to shift gears here, still, which is very fortunate, still no real indication of any residue that is washed up onto any beaches. So, but that is being monitored on a daily basis with weekly snapshots provided to individuals that are integrated into the beach process. So I've had a couple of times, there's a lovely lady who always needles me on a turtle update, so I've added a turtle update in here. And 2009, for the entire turtle season, we logged 120 nests here in South Palm Beach. As of this morning, 7 a.m., I walked down, engaged our turtle man, and as of today, we're at 149 turtle nests for the season. So we're actually ahead of where we were, so I'm guessing the turtles are using Twitter and Facebook to notify each other about the oil spill or something. So at any rate, that's good news for the turtles. Hopefully they all make it to a healthy, mature status, but that's my beach report.
Brian, can you tell me, breakwaters up and down, what is the plan right now?
In terms of
Above
mud
water,
surface,
below
yeah.
water?
The challenge we have, well, from a modeling perspective, they're working through two different models, and both models presented forth will provide us with a proposal for one that is under the surface and one that is over. The challenge with, and when we were in the scoping meeting, I was very much behind a lot of folks who said, gosh, let's have it under, we don't want to have anything over. The challenge that has been presented with the gentleman, Scott, I believe his last name's Erickson, who does a lot of the modeling, is a wave's energy, 90% of a wave's energy is at the top end. So as he put it, if you eliminate that above surface breakwater, you essentially eliminate the impact in which it would have. Now, I said, well, based on your statement, I'm guessing then it's only 10% effective. Is that an accurate statement? He says, well, not exactly, because waves do have a tendency to break in different forms and fashions. So the straight answer is he's working through models, and they both will produce or present their effectiveness, I guess.
I know the surf riders are quite concerned.
They're
What's going on there, because they're afraid of there be no waves at all.
Well,
And openings, I don't know where the openings would be.
the
And are they gonna bring in sand?
well, I've happened to have and the answer is I can answer both questions. The answer on the sand part, first of all, I'll start with the last question first, is yes, there will be sand. There will be some renourishment. Once this project is fully executed, the breakwaters are in place, there will be renourishment placed on the beaches with the intent of ultimately
Where will
retaining that
they
sand.
be starting the breakwaters?
When?
Where?
That is, well, at this point right now, it's a north-south flow is what they're
I
talking.
think it's up in Juneau right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Juneau into Singer Island, where Singer Island's hit significant. And again, Singer Island, shame on me, I think I've cited that on a lot of times as kind of being the front-end leader for what transpires in our case. Singer Island is, even though it's just up the coast, is drastically different than South Palm Beach. So,
Big beach.
everyone, big beach, 3-4 times the turtle nesting. I mean, it's
Right.
even the